Katie Santry, a vibrant TikTok creator based in Columbus, Ohio, had always been known for her upbeat personality and relatable content. With a steadily growing following, her TikTok videos typically revolved around lifestyle topics, home improvement projects, and lighthearted moments with her partner. However, in early October 2024, her channel took a dramatic turn into the unknown, a shift that would catapult her into viral fame and immerse her in a chilling mystery that captured the internet's collective imagination. It all began with a video that seemed innocuous at first. Katie uploaded a clip describing strange occurrences in her home, small things she initially brushed off. A shattered laptop screen, belongings disappearing and reappearing in odd places, and doors creaking open on their own were the first signs. Her viewers responded with curiosity, offering explanations ranging from mischievous pets to an overactive imagination. Katie laughed it off, sharing these events with her characteristic charm and a dose of skepticism. But as the days passed, the incidents became harder to dismiss. Katie's tone shifted from amused to unnerved as she described feelings of being watched and a growing sense that something wasn't right. Her followers, now deeply intrigued, began suggesting everything from poltergeist activity to hidden cameras planted by a stalker. The comment sections on her videos exploded with theories, turning her TikTok page into a hub of sleuthing and speculation. Katie was no longer just a content creator. She was the protagonist in a modern-day mystery that was unfolding in real time. What made this story even more compelling was Katie's raw and unfiltered approach. She invited her audience into her world, sharing updates with an openness that made them feel like they were a part of her journey. With every video, her followers grew more invested, dissecting every frame for clues and hanging onto her every word. The strange happenings in Katie Santry's life weren't just content, they were a phenomenon, and her rising fame was fueled by the eerie enigmas surrounding her home. Unbeknownst to Katie, the events she was documenting would soon lead her to a discovery buried in her backyard, one that would blur the lines between the ordinary and the extraordinary, captivating millions and leaving a trail of unanswered questions. It started subtly, so subtly that Katie Santry didn't think much of it at first. A cracked laptop screen greeted her one morning, a baffling sight since she couldn't recall dropping or mishandling it. Her first thought was that it must have been an accident, though her partner swore they hadn't touched it. Brushing it off, she chalked it up to bad luck and moved on. Then, more unusual things began to happen. Small objects around the house, her keys, a hairbrush, even her favorite mug would vanish without explanation, only to reappear later in strange places. At first, she thought it was forgetfulness. I must have left it there, she told herself, though the growing frequency of these incidents left her questioning her own memory. The oddity peaked one evening when her partner found their phone resting on top of the refrigerator, somewhere neither of them would ever place it. Katie couldn't shake the creeping unease that something wasn't quite right. The real tipping point came late one night when she heard faint creaking from the hallway just outside her bedroom. The sound was subtle but persistent, like someone pacing back and forth. Gripping her phone tightly, she ventured out to investigate, finding nothing but the stillness of her darkened home. She posted a quick video about it the next day, half laughing at her paranoia, but in her heart she felt unsettled. It wasn't just the tangible incidents that disturbed her. Katie began to feel an unexplainable presence in her home, an oppressive weight in the air, as though she was never truly alone. She often caught herself glancing over her shoulder or scanning the corners of rooms, expecting to find someone or something watching her. Her dog, usually calm and unbothered, started acting out of character, barking at empty doorways and growling at the closet. By now, Katie's unease was turning into genuine fear. When she shared these occurrences on TikTok, she was inundated with responses. Some followers blamed mischievous spirits or poltergeists. Others suggested there might be a more human culprit at play. A few even theorized that her home could have a dark past. The mix of encouragement and sensationalism pushed Katie to keep documenting her experiences, even as she struggled to make sense of them herself. These first signs, small and strange, were only the beginning. What felt like a bizarre series of coincidences would soon give way to a discovery that no one, not even her most skeptical followers, could have anticipated. As Katie continued to post updates, her TikTok audience grew exponentially. What began as a small community of loyal followers quickly transformed into a vast network of armchair detectives, paranormal enthusiasts, and crime junkies. Each video she shared, from objects inexplicably moving to the eerie creaks in the hallway, sparked hundreds of comments and theories. The platform became a virtual crime scene board, with her followers connecting dots that Katie hadn't even considered. Some were convinced that her house was haunted, pointing out supposed shadowy figures in the background of her videos or the faint sound of whispers caught in her audio. Others speculated that Katie was the target of an elaborate prank, perhaps orchestrated by a neighbor, a former tenant, or even her own partner. The theories ranged from plausible to outright bizarre, but Katie couldn't deny the impact it had. Every video she uploaded was dissected frame by frame, with her audience offering interpretations and advice. "Have you checked the history of your house?" one follower suggested. "It might have been built on something sinister." Another asked, "What if someone's living in your walls?" The thought sent shivers down Katie's spine. Her followers weren't just passive viewers, they were invested participants, urging her to dig deeper and uncover the truth. It was this collective curiosity, this insistent encouragement, that ultimately led to the most shocking discovery of all. On an unseasonably cool afternoon, Katie and her partner set out to tackle a mundane project, installing a fence in their backyard. It was the kind of activity that should have been routine, a welcome distraction from the unsettling occurrences inside their home. As they worked, they noticed an odd patch of ground beneath a young bloodgood tree. The soil looked disturbed, uneven compared to the rest of the yard. Curiosity got the better of them. Grabbing a shovel, Katie began to dig. At first, it was nothing but dirt and roots, but then the shovel struck something solid. Katie's partner crouched down to help, and together they unearthed a rolled up carpet buried beneath the tree. Katie's heart raced as she filmed the discovery, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and disbelief. "What the hell is this?" she whispered to the camera, her hands shaking. The carpet was old, tattered, and stained in places that looked suspiciously dark. The eerie placement of the bloodgood tree above it, a tree often associated with resilience and remembrance, only added to the sense of dread. Her followers were quick to respond. Within minutes of posting the video, comments flooded in. "Call the police now," one urged. Another warned, "Be careful. This could be evidence of something terrible." Katie couldn't shake the feeling that they were right. Whatever lay hidden in that rolled up carpet carried the weight of a secret long buried, and the chilling thought that it might be connected to the strange happenings in her home consumed her. Her partner, equally unnerved, agreed they had to involve the authorities. As they waited for the police to arrive, Katie stared at the exposed carpet, a million questions swirling in her mind. Who had buried it there? Why? And most importantly, what would they find inside? As Katie aimed her camera at the rolled up carpet lying in her backyard, her voice trembled. "I don't know what this is, but it's freaking me out," she said, holding back tears. She hesitated for a moment before continuing. "I don't think I can do this alone." The TikTok video was raw and unfiltered. The stained, worn carpet, half covered in dirt, looked like something pulled straight from a crime scene. The eerie atmosphere, paired with Katie's shaky narration, made it impossible for viewers to look away. Within minutes, the video was flooded with comments. "Don't touch it, call the police," one user wrote. Another speculated, "It could be a body." The stains look, More skeptical viewers chimed in with theories of a prank or discarded trash, but their voices were drowned out by the growing sense of dread shared by most. Katie's hands hovered over the edge of the carpet, her mind racing. Should she unroll it? Part of her wanted to put the mystery to rest immediately, but another part feared what she might uncover. She set the camera down and took a step back, capturing the carpet in the frame. "I'm going to wait," she said to her audience, her voice barely above a whisper. "I need to call someone." The suspense was unbearable, both for Katie and the millions of viewers glued to her TikTok page. As the video ended, theories exploded online. Some users scoured local missing person reports, while others dove into the history of Katie's property. The possibility that the carpet held evidence of a long-forgotten crime had everyone on edge, turning her backyard discovery into a viral obsession. With her phone buzzing nonstop from notifications and messages, Katie knew she couldn't ignore the situation. The carpet was too suspicious, the stains too ominous to dismiss. Her followers' urgency only amplified her own anxiety. "You need professionals for this," one comment read. "This isn't something to mess with." Katie hesitated. What if she called the police and it turned out to be nothing? What if they didn't take her seriously? But as the evening light began to fade, casting long shadows across the yard, her fear outweighed her doubt. She dialed the non-emergency line, her voice shaking as she explained the situation. "I found something buried in my yard," she began, trying to sound calm. "It's a rolled up carpet, and it looks like it could be connected to something. I don't know, something bad." The dispatcher assured her that officers would be sent to investigate. As she hung up the phone, Katie exhaled deeply, her hands still trembling. She looked over at her partner, who nodded silently, their shared unease palpable. When the police arrived, the officers inspected the carpet cautiously. Their professional demeanor only heightened Katie's nerves. "We'll need to bring in specialists," one of them said, referencing cadaver dogs and forensic teams. Katie watched as they cordoned off the area with tape, the sight making the situation feel disturbingly real. For Katie, this was no longer just a mystery for TikTok. It was something far bigger and far more terrifying. The police presence confirmed that whatever lay hidden in that carpet demanded answers, and for the first time she felt the full weight of the unknown. As she updated her followers, her voice cracked with emotion. "The police are here," she said, her face illuminated by the flashing lights in the background. "They're taking this seriously, and I'm terrified." Little did Katie know the next steps in the investigation would only deepen the enigma, leaving her and her audience with more questions than answers. The arrival of the cadaver dogs brought an eerie silence to Katie's backyard. The once casual space where she and her partner had envisioned a new fence now felt like the epicenter of a sinister mystery. Two handlers, wearing stoic expressions and flanked by their highly trained dogs, stepped cautiously around the disturbed patch of soil. Katie stood to the side, her breath shallow as she recorded the scene from a respectful distance. The dogs sniffed the carpet with precision, circling it in tight patterns. Katie's followers watched every second of her live stream, holding their breath as if they were standing in the yard with her. Then it happened. Both dogs stopped abruptly, their noses pressed against the stained material. One of them let out a short, sharp bark, breaking the tense quiet. "Oh my God," Katie whispered, the camera shaking in her hands. The handlers exchanged a glance and gave their dogs commands to continue. The animals repeated their reactions, pawing and barking at the same spot. The handlers turned to the officers and nodded. Katie didn't need to hear the words to understand what it meant. The dogs had detected something. The tension was unbearable. Katie's heart raced as officers stepped in to secure the area. Her live stream ended abruptly, leaving her audience in a state of collective suspense. As she later recounted the moment in a follow-up video, her voice trembled. The dogs reacted to the carpet, she explained, wide-eyed. I don't know what that means, but it's not good. Katie's TikTok page exploded within hours. The video of the cadaver dog's reactions went viral, drawing millions of views and catapulting her into an overnight internet sensation. Her followers, already captivated, now entered a frenzy of speculation. Comments poured in faster than she could read them, each one offering a new theory, a new piece of the puzzle. It has to be a body. The dogs wouldn't react otherwise, one user wrote. Another chimed in, what if it's an old crime, something buried here years ago? Some theories veered into the macabre. This could be a ritual site. The bloodgood tree might have been planted as a marker. One comment read, gaining thousands of likes. Another user pointed out the tree's symbolic association with memory and resilience, fueling speculation about an occult connection. The internet turned into a hive of activity, with amateur sleuths digging into local cold cases and sharing links to missing persons reports. Some even claimed to have uncovered vague rumors about Katie's neighborhood, though their validity was impossible to confirm. Katie's inbox flooded with messages, some supportive, others downright chilling. Be careful, one follower warned. If this is connected to someone dangerous, you might be in trouble. The overwhelming response was both thrilling and terrifying for Katie. She had invited her audience into her life, but now it felt like she was losing control of the narrative. News outlets soon picked up the story, running headlines like TikTok creators' backyard discovery sparks investigation and cadaver dogs react to buried carpet in viral TikTok mystery. The media attention added fuel to the fire, turning Katie's backyard into a hotspot of intrigue. As theories spiraled and the stakes grew higher, Katie couldn't help but wonder, was this the breakthrough her followers were hoping for, or was she unraveling something far darker than anyone had imagined? With millions watching her every move, the weight of the mystery and its potential consequences pressed heavier than ever. Katie's TikTok account became the epicenter of a digital frenzy. After her videos showing the cadaver dog's reactions to the carpet, her follower count skyrocketed, climbing into the millions seemingly overnight. Her audience, already deeply invested, now turned her comment sections into a battleground of theories. Each video was dissected, every detail scrutinized as amateur sleuths and paranormal enthusiasts debated the true nature of what Katie had unearthed. Some followers were certain the carpet concealed the remnants of a crime. It has to be a hidden body, one commenter insisted, their post liked tens of thousands of times. Others speculated the stains on the fabric could point to a violent event. Those marks look like blood, someone noted. Maybe this was evidence from an unsolved case. As the theories gained momentum, a darker narrative began to take shape. A few users linked the bloodgood tree planted above the buried carpet to occult practices. Trees like this are sometimes used as markers in rituals, one comment read, sparking hundreds of replies. Others suggested the site might be part of something larger, a forgotten burial ground, or a location tied to supernatural phenomena. Some theories veered into conspiracy territory, with users claiming the discovery might be tied to organized crime or secret societies. But amidst the wild speculations, there were also practical voices. Could it just be trash someone buried? A skeptic asked. The response to this question was overwhelming. Trash doesn't make cadaver dogs react, another replied, their comment encapsulating the collective tension gripping Katie's audience. What started as a peculiar home renovation update had transformed into a viral mystery. Katie's account became a hub for TikTok's true crime community, with creators stitching her videos to offer their own analysis, from forensic theories to paranormal possibilities. Katie, now the face of this unfolding drama, found herself at the center of a phenomenon far beyond anything she could have imagined. As Katie's videos continued to dominate TikTok, it wasn't long before local news outlets caught wind of the story. Columbus TikTok creator finds buried carpet, sparks investigation, read one headline, marking the first wave of mainstream attention. Soon, news segments aired showing clips of Katie's videos, carefully edited to highlight the eerie nature of her discovery. Journalists visited her neighborhood, speaking to curious neighbors who speculated about the property's history. Some recalled vague rumors of past occupants who had abruptly moved away, while others described the area as quiet but old. The local historical society even fielded calls from reporters looking for information about the land's previous uses. The legitimacy that came with the media's involvement amplified the pressure to uncover the truth. Police issued a brief statement acknowledging the investigation but provided no further details. This silence only fueled public curiosity. As Katie watched the coverage from her living room, she felt a strange mix of validation and unease. Her once private life had become a national curiosity. The mystery soon spread beyond Ohio, with larger outlets like regional news stations and online publications covering the story. Articles featured stills from Katie's TikToks, highlighting the rolled up carpet and the cadaver dog's reactions. Hashtags like #backyardmystery and #catacentricase began trending across social media platforms, with influencers and commentators weighing in on the bizarre situation. This wave of attention brought both support and scrutiny. While many sympathized with Katie's plight, others questioned her motives. Is this a hoax for clout? Skeptics asked in opinion pieces, though the police involvement and cadaver dogs' reactions made such claims harder to believe. For Katie, the newfound attention was overwhelming. Every move she made was watched, every update demanded. She felt the weight of millions of eyes waiting for answers to a mystery she never asked to uncover. The pressure wasn't just on her, it was on the police, the media, and the mystery itself to deliver something concrete. But what if no clear answer was ever found? What would happen to her story then? The following day, Katie's backyard was transformed into a controlled excavation site. The police, joined by a small forensic team, brought in additional equipment to carefully unearth the mysterious rolled-up carpet. Katie watched from her back porch, her heart pounding as shovels and trowels worked away at the dirt. The once quiet suburban yard was now a hive of activity, cordoned off by police tape and watched by curious neighbors. The carpet was removed with great care, its weathered fabric crumbling in places as officers inspected it. The dark stains were immediately swabbed for analysis, and every inch of the carpet was documented and bagged. But to Katie's growing confusion and that of her millions of followers, the officers did not uncover anything more sinister beneath the surface. No bones, no personal effects, no sign of human remains. Despite the cadaver dog's strong reactions, the excavation yielded nothing to suggest the carpet had been used to conceal a crime. "It's strange," one officer admitted to Katie quietly, glancing at the now bare patch of earth. "The dogs don't usually react unless there's something to react to." This statement, though small, left Katie unsettled. What had the dogs detected, if not human remains? And why had the carpet been buried so deliberately? As the police packed up their tools and the forensic team left with the carpet for further testing, the atmosphere shifted from tense anticipation to a heavy sense of mystery. Katie updated her followers in a somber TikTok, her face pale with unease. "They didn't find anything," she said, her voice trembling. "But that almost makes it scarier. Why was it there? What made the dogs react?" The lack of answers only deepened the intrigue, leaving both the investigators and Katie's audience grasping for explanations. With no concrete evidence uncovered, Katie's followers and online sleuths doubled down on their theories. The absence of human remains only fueled speculation, as if the mystery had grown more complex in the face of its ambiguity. One of the most popular theories was that the carpet had been part of a past crime, perhaps one that had been carefully covered up. The dogs could have picked up on trace evidence, a follower suggested in the comments. Even if the body was moved, there might still be residual scents. This idea gained traction, with many pointing to the stains on the carpet as potential blood evidence. Others leaned toward a paranormal explanation. "This is why weird stuff keeps happening in your house," one user claimed. "The carpet was buried to trap something like a spirit or bad energy." This theory, though far-fetched to some, resonated with Katie's experiences of strange noises and a sense of being watched. It even tied into the eerie symbolism of the bloodgood tree, which some followers argued could have been planted as part of a ritual. A more skeptical contingent of viewers proposed that the carpet had been buried as part of an elaborate prank. "Maybe it's just someone messing with you," one commenter wrote, though they couldn't explain why cadaver dogs would react in that case. Others speculated that it could have been unrelated trash discarded by a previous homeowner, a mundane explanation that felt increasingly unlikely given the deliberate burial and the tree's placement. Still, some followers refused to rule out the possibility of something far more sinister. "What if the carpet is connected to an unsolved crime?" one comment asked, linking Katie's case to a missing persons report from decades ago. This theory prompted online sleuths to dig into cold cases, searching for any connections that could explain the discovery. Each new video Katie posted was met with a flood of these theories, ranging from the chilling to the absurd. The lack of resolution only seemed to amplify the audience's obsession, turning the case into a collaborative puzzle that no one, not the police, not Katie, and certainly not her followers, could seem to solve. The mystery of the carpet, once confined to Katie's backyard, now lived in the minds of millions. And with every unanswered question, the line between reality and speculation blurred further, leaving everyone wondering, would they ever know the truth? The bloodgood Japanese maple, with its deep crimson leaves and striking appearance, had always been a decorative favorite for gardens. But in Katie's backyard, it took on a far more ominous significance. The tree, planted directly above the buried carpet, became the centerpiece of speculation as her followers began investigating its potential symbolism. In many cultures, the bloodgood maple is associated with resilience and rebirth, its vibrant color evoking themes of memory and permanence. This led some to suggest that the tree might have been deliberately planted as a marker, either as a memorial for something lost or as a way to conceal a dark secret. "It's like they wanted to leave a sign without making it obvious," one commenter theorized, gaining thousands of likes. Others tied the tree to the supernatural. "Red trees like this have been used in rituals," another user claimed. "It could be a protective symbol, or maybe even part of the haunting you're experiencing." The idea that the bloodgood maple wasn't just coincidentally placed above the carpet gained momentum, and Katie couldn't ignore the eerie possibility that there was more to the tree than met the eye. Katie herself began to view the tree differently. Its once beautiful leaves now seemed like a warning, their crimson hue reminding her of the dark stains on the carpet. She mentioned in one TikTok update, "I can't even look at that tree the same way anymore. It feels like it's watching me." The tree, much like the carpet it concealed, became an object of fascination and fear, a symbol of the unknown forces lurking beneath the surface of her seemingly ordinary life. For Katie, the mystery wasn't just online content, it was her reality. The discovery of the buried carpet and the subsequent police investigation had turned her life upside down. What started as strange, isolated incidents in her home had spiraled into a public spectacle, with millions watching her every move. And while the attention brought her viral fame, it also came with an overwhelming sense of dread. Katie's once cozy home now felt like a trap. She couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, a sensation that only intensified after the carpet was unearthed. Even mundane sounds, a creaking floorboard, the hum of the refrigerator set her on edge. Nights were the worst, the quiet amplifying her paranoia. She confided to her followers in one emotional update, "I don't feel safe here anymore. Every little thing feels like a sign that something isn't right." Her mental and emotional strain began to show. She admitted to losing sleep, her mind replaying the image of the buried carpet over and over again. The unanswered questions haunted her. Why had it been buried? Who put it there? Was her house truly haunted, or was something even darker at play? Her audience, while supportive, only added to her anxiety with their constant flow of theories, some comforting, others terrifying. Katie's partner tried to reassure her, but they too were visibly shaken by the events. The once simple life they shared now felt like a story ripped from a horror film, and neither of them could find a way to reclaim normalcy. Katie often found herself questioning her decision to share everything online. "I needed help," she explained in one tearful post, "but now I feel like I've opened a door I can't close." Despite the fear and uncertainty, Katie continued documenting her journey. For her, the act of sharing wasn't just a way to keep her followers informed, it was a lifeline. But with every update, the weight of the mystery grew heavier, and Katie began to wonder if she was inching closer to answers or simply unraveling further into the unknown. As news of Katie's discovery spread, her quiet neighborhood became a hub of gossip and speculation. Neighbors who had lived in the area for years began to share stories, each adding another layer to the mystery. One elderly resident mentioned that the property had been vacant for a long stretch before Katie and her partner moved in. "I always thought it was strange," she said in a local news interview. "Nobody stayed here for very long before them." Another neighbor recalled a family who had lived in the house decades ago but had left suddenly under unclear circumstances. "They moved out in the middle of the night," he told a reporter. "No explanation, just gone." This tidbit quickly spread online, with Katie's followers digging into public records to find out who the family was and why they might have left. Some neighbors brought up the land itself, suggesting that the area had a murky past. "This part of town used to be farmland," one neighbor shared in a comment on Katie's TikTok. "There were rumors of unmarked graves from the early settlers." Others claimed that the nearby woods had been a hotspot for strange activity over the years, including unexplained lights and eerie sounds. Whether these stories were rooted in fact or fueled by the ongoing drama, they added to the growing sense that Katie's home wasn't just an ordinary suburban house. For Katie, hearing these rumors was both unsettling and oddly validating. It meant she wasn't alone in feeling that something about her property was off. Yet the whispers of past tragedies and unsolved mysteries only deepened her anxiety, leaving her with more questions than answers. While the police investigation had focused on tangible evidence, Katie's followers were more willing to embrace the supernatural. From the very first video she posted about the strange occurrences, her comment sections had been filled with mentions of hauntings and poltergeist activity. After the discovery of the carpet and the cadaver dog's reactions, the paranormal theories only intensified. Some pointed to the unexplained phenomena Katie had experienced in her home, objects disappearing, faint creaks in the night, and the oppressive feeling of being watched. "Classic signs of a haunting," one user wrote. "You need to get a medium in there ASAP." Others dissected her videos frame by frame, claiming to see shadowy figures or hear faint whispers in the background. These evidence clips circulated widely, with many users convinced that Katie's house was a hotbed of paranormal energy. One particularly chilling theory suggested that the carpet itself was the source of the haunting. It could have been used in some kind of ritual, a commenter speculated. Maybe burying it was an attempt to trap the spirit. Another added, the bloodgood tree might have been planted to seal the energy. Digging it up could have released whatever was tied to it. Katie, who had never considered herself superstitious, began to wonder if there was truth to these claims. She noticed the strange activity in her home seemed to escalate after the carpet was unearthed, doors creaked louder, her dog barked more frequently at empty spaces, and she often woke up feeling inexplicably cold. Despite her initial skepticism, the overwhelming insistence from her followers planted seeds of doubt in her mind. In one TikTok, she addressed the possibility directly. "I don't know if I believe in ghosts," she admitted, "but I can't explain what's happening here. Maybe it's not just in my head." The idea of a haunting captured the imagination of her audience, turning her story into more than just a mystery. It became a modern ghost story. Yet for Katie, the thought of sharing her home with something unseen and malevolent was anything but thrilling. It was terrifying, and the sense of helplessness it brought was perhaps the scariest part of all. Even after the carpet was removed and the police investigation concluded, the eerie happenings in Katie's home did not stop. If anything, they seemed to intensify. Late at night, Katie often heard faint footsteps echoing through the hallways, deliberate and measured, as if someone unseen was pacing. She would rush to check, but the hallways were always empty. One evening, as she was filming a TikTok, Katie caught a strange sound on camera, a faint tapping like knuckles rapping against a wooden door. "Do you hear that?" she whispered in the video, her voice trembling. Her audience confirmed it, flooding the comments with timestamps and urging her to leave the house. Objects also continued to move inexplicably. Katie's dog leash, which she always kept by the front door, would disappear and turn up hours later in the basement, a place she rarely went. Her dog, once calm and playful, became increasingly agitated, barking at seemingly nothing and refusing to enter certain rooms. The strangest event occurred one morning when Katie woke to find what appeared to be muddy footprints leading from her back door to the hallway. The door had been locked, and the alarm system showed no signs of entry. She documented the footprints in a TikTok, her voice barely above a whisper. "How does this keep happening?" she asked, fear evident in her eyes. "Is someone coming in, or is it something else?" Her followers were divided. Some insisted these were further signs of a haunting, while others warned of a physical intruder. For Katie, the source of the disturbances didn't matter as much as the growing feeling that her home was no longer a safe place. Katie's partner, who had largely stayed in the background of her TikTok updates, finally addressed the situation in a rare video appearance. Sitting beside Katie, they shared their perspective on the unfolding mystery, their expression a mix of frustration and fear. "I've always been a skeptic," they began, their voice steady but tense. "I didn't believe in ghosts or anything like that, but I don't know anymore. Some of the stuff happening here doesn't make sense." They recounted their own experiences, including hearing faint whispers while working late in the living room and feeling a cold draft pass through, even when all the windows were closed. "The other night, I swear I heard my name being called," they admitted, looking visibly shaken. Katie was asleep, and there was no one else here. Despite their growing unease, Katie's partner tried to remain rational. "It could be our minds playing tricks on us," they suggested, though their tone lacked conviction. "But I've also been thinking, what if someone's messing with us? What if this is all part of some sick prank?" Their candid remarks added another layer to the story, highlighting the psychological toll the situation was taking on both of them. While Katie's partner expressed doubts about the paranormal, they also acknowledged the possibility that something or someone was deliberately targeting them. As weeks turned into months, the mystery surrounding Katie's home remained unresolved. The police investigation into the buried carpet yielded no concrete answers. Forensic tests found no human DNA on the stains, and the origin of the cadaver dog's reactions was never explained. "It's one of those things," a police spokesperson said in a brief statement, where we may never know the full story. Katie, too, was left with more questions than answers. Despite her efforts to document everything and involve her followers, no definitive explanation emerged. Theories about past crimes, paranormal activity, and elaborate pranks continued to swirl online, but none could be proven. For Katie, the lack of closure was both frustrating and haunting. "It feels like there's a piece missing," she said in a final TikTok update on the carpet. "Like we're so close to understanding, but we can't quite get there." Her followers, though still invested, began to move on to other viral mysteries. But for Katie and her partner, the experience left an indelible mark. They considered moving but ultimately decided to stay, determined not to let fear dictate their lives. Still, the uneasy feeling lingered, and the strange occurrences continued sporadically, as if the mystery of the house refused to let them go. The case, with its tantalizing hints and lack of resolution, became one of TikTok's most infamous unsolved stories. And as Katie locked her doors each night, she couldn't help but wonder, was the truth buried deeper than she could ever dig, or was it still out there, waiting to reveal itself? In her final TikTok update on the mystery, Katie sat on her living room couch, visibly drained but composed. Her loyal followers could sense the weight of the past few months in her demeanor. "I wanted to thank everyone who's been here for this crazy journey," she began, her voice steady but tinged with exhaustion. "You've helped me through one of the most surreal and terrifying experiences of my life." Katie recapped the major events: the mysterious carpet, the cadaver dogs, the police investigation, and the lingering unexplained phenomena in her home. "I don't have the answers you've been hoping for," she admitted, her expression somber. "The police didn't find anything definitive, and the strange things that happened here, well, they've quieted down, but they haven't stopped entirely." She paused, glancing off camera as if searching for the right words. "I've realized that sometimes you don't get closure. Sometimes life just leaves you with loose ends. And as hard as that is, I'm choosing to move forward." Katie shared her plans to focus on the positive aspects of her life and hinted at new content unrelated to the mystery. "I'll still be here, sharing my life and hopefully bringing some light back into this account. But as for this chapter, I think it's time to close it." Her final words to her audience struck a chord. "I hope this reminds you that not everything in life is clear-cut. Whether it's a haunting, a crime, or something we can't explain, it's okay to not have all the answers, and it's okay to let things go." The video ended with Katie offering a small smile, a quiet gesture of resilience in the face of uncertainty. It wasn't the dramatic conclusion her followers had hoped for, but it was real, and that was enough. Katie's story may have ended on TikTok, but the mystery lives on in the minds of her followers. The unanswered questions continue to spark debates in comment sections and forums. Was this the forgotten relic of a crime? The cadaver dog's reactions and the suspicious stains on the carpet suggest a darker history, yet no tangible evidence was uncovered. Could someone have buried the carpet to hide the remnants of an unsolved case? Could it have been a paranormal event? The unexplained noises, moving objects, and eerie sensations align with classic signs of a haunting. Was the carpet itself tied to the supernatural, or did disturbing it awaken something? Or was it something entirely mundane? Could the carpet have been nothing more than discarded trash, the stains from an unrelated source, and the cadaver dog's reactions a strange coincidence? As Katie steps away from the mystery, the lingering uncertainty invites her audience to reflect. What would you have done in Katie's shoes? Would you have kept digging for answers, or would you too have chosen to move forward without closure? The story of Katie Santry's backyard mystery may never have a resolution, but it remains a testament to the power of curiosity, fear, and the unknown forces that can captivate millions and leave us questioning the world around us.